Thank you, everybody. My name is Amit. Been at Google for around 17 years now, spending the majority of that time doing something called Google Arts and Culture, which I hope some of you know about, but for those who don't, I hope to take you through it. A nonprofit initiative that we started now around 13 years ago with the idea of providing access to cultural information, whether that's artworks, food history, sports history, and much more. The initiative now spans over 3,000 museums, archives, and institutions from over 90 countries, sharing information, curatorial, research, and delightful. So I hope to take you through some of that very quickly. These are some of our partners, and I'm going to actually try majority of this session doing live technical demos. I don't have a death wish, but I do like to have fun. So if something goes wrong, you can blame one of my engineering team members, but I'm going to move on. So yeah, it's a small team. We are a mix of engineers, cultural enthusiasts, and we have dedicated the years to build a platform where all this information can be shared. And obviously, 10 years ago, institutions came to us and asked us, are there solutions to a problem we are facing, whether in research or preservation? And so we started using early ML models and early AI to help them. Some of the people you saw speaking are our artists and partners who've done it. But there's also a very important aspect around cultural data intelligence that we are supporting institutions on, and of course, delight. So I'm just going to get in there and we're going to turn on the app. So this app is live. You can download it and enjoy it. I'm going to start taking you through a few experiences around delight. I see a very good friend in the audience there, so I feel more relaxed. That's nice. Explore. 3,000 museums at your fingertips, artworks, sports history, food history, and much more. Various verticals. For example, if you're interested in fashion, we have around 100 fashion institutes around the world sharing their information here. We've got British fashion, of course, and each one of these tabs links to a large curatorial set of artifacts and stories. So I'm not going to click on them right now. But for example, performing arts. This is one of my favorite sections because we got a chance to do a retrospective on Gilberto Gil and got all of his stories, his histories, archives on the platform. We also have, of course, Beethoven next to Gilberto Gil, which is a lovely contrast, I think, and of course, the West Side Story. Each one of these, as you click into them, you will see partners like the Carnegie Hall and many more sharing in-depth information on these stories. Now, I'm going to just quickly move on to play. Play is really where we see our highest interaction from users because everyone comes to culture or art in different ways. For some of us, it's something we know from childhood, but for a lot of us, we are intimidated by it. And play has really helped us to create a much more level playing field for various people to come and share their ideas. Games, interactive experiences. As you can see, I keep playing this one with my son right now because I'm trying to get him into art, and he thinks it's boring. And so, I'm just going to show you this. This is an AI-generated artist experiment we did called Mice in the Museum.
Steps of August and Pearl, two mice on a journey through the world's most renowned museums. Through their eyes, we'll discover hidden beauty and unexpected stories as they explore the world of art.
Wow, look at those colors. They're so vibrant.
It's like a dream, isn't it? All those pink and white fruits.
They're pitahayas, or dragon fruits. I read that they taste a bit like melon.
Imagine painting on metal. That's not your usual canvas.
It's oil paint.
And I hope you see this. This is essentially taking curatorial information and artwork and creating podcasts that are much more accessible. We rolled this out. Schools have contacted us and asked us, how can they do more of this? Now I'm going to move to something, and here, by the way, if you download the app, is a place where you can see all these games, these interactive games that are being used in classrooms. So Studio is something we've recently launched. We know that the app is used and the platform is used by researchers, by curators, because you've got over 1 million or 2 million artworks and artifacts being shared in high resolution. But we also know that people are now coming to it to create their own ideas. And I'm going to just show you a few of the things we do. So one of them is called Art Zoom Out. I'm going to try and create a live one. So we don't believe in recreating the artwork using AI in our team because we obviously work with 3,000 museums who also don't believe in that. But what we do work on is challenge how we can get it to be more engaging. So for example, this is the original artwork. And using some of our AI tools, we try to create what the scenario might be around that artwork without changing anything inherently original in the artwork. And so you can see that that has been done live, and if I tap on it, that was the original artwork. And this is another way for us to get engagement and learning into these artworks. I'm going to move on now to what a lot of people know us for. So you got art transfer, poem postcards where you can create poems. And of course, many years ago, we launched something called Art Selfie. I don't know how many of you have ever used it or know what it is, but it was a way to get portraits matched to you after you take a selfie. A completely new audience came into the world of portraiture. We got around 135 million people using this actively. We've launched various iterations. It was featured in various interesting places. And we launched Art Selfie 2 recently, which was essentially, instead of matching you to a portrait, we're going to use Gen AI to try and immerse you into one without hopefully being too ridiculous. But I cannot guarantee. So I'm going to take a selfie live. Hopefully this will work, but I have to take it without too many people in the back. All right. And I'm going to just click the first one for ease of time. And this is all live. I have no idea what's going to come up. Hopefully not too embarrassing. Well, you just had lunch. So, hopefully you had some fruit. If not, I supply you with my fruity face. All right, let's move on. So I showed you a few of these things because I wanted to get you into the notion that art and culture, while very important to have curatorial storytelling, which we do have, also has a huge opportunity to delight people. And these are the experiences that we've been rolling out for the last few years, and most of what you saw is in the last couple of months. I'm going to move on now to something a bit different. So we spoke about delight, but actually majority of the work we do from an engineering standpoint is seeing how we can apply some of these technologies to preservation and more meaningful activities. Preserving Our Past is a program that we've been running with UNESCO, World Monument Fund, and many organizations, which really talks about why culture is at risk around the world, what we're doing to save it. We did a huge project with Ukraine a few months ago where we've got all Ukraine sites 3D modeled, and we are working with the government there on restoration projects. So what I want to show you now is something we haven't launched as yet, so I'm taking a higher risk. So this is a tech demo that is unlaunched. So let's see what happens. It's essentially the idea was, we know that AI can do a lot of wonderful things for language. We are aware of that. But what about endangered languages? Because that's really what we are interested in. So we've been working with universities around the world to get data sets of endangered languages and use AI and object recognition to very quickly make it an immersive experience. So I'm going to try and show you what Woolaroo is all about. I have to accept some conditions. So I'm going to first upload, something that I find fun, Winnie the Pooh. And we are now live generating and recognizing objects in this illustration. And then we are automatically going to translate it into an endangered language. So that's done. This is translated in a Nigerian language spoken by around 10 million people or so called Ibibio. And I've been learning a lot about Nigerian culture because we're doing a lot of amazing projects in Nigeria. And you can listen to this. Hopefully this will work. This is the pronunciation. You can then with Gemini see it in context of a sentence. And you can really engage much more deeply with the language. This is going to launch in a month or two. And you can see we have languages now from Asia, from Europe, but the next set is going to be around 15 endangered African languages that are going to come. And we've seen the power of this, especially in an educational setting, or even in an interaction setting with friends from those countries where people really get into this. I'm going to now go back and show you another project very quickly. Hopefully it's not going to be a live demo. Oh, it is. Okay. So this one is also fun. It's, again, not public. So you're the first people to see it. But we've been doing a lot of 3D scanning and digitization of archaeological models around the world. We've done Taj Mahal. We've done thousands of them. But we got a chance to work with an organization called Faktum to do the tomb of Tutankhamun. Now, this is a pretty fantastic 3D model that we're going to be making available to the world very quickly. I think you can see the details. I don't know how many of you have been to the Valley of the Dead. Well, now hopefully you'll get interest to go. But please, now, let's go in. I will try to take you in. And as you can see, I'm trying very hard for this not to crash. And now, with multimodal Gemini AI, we are actually creating an educational pathway. So I'm going to try something. It'll be great if you all are quiet. Hi, can you tell me what the baboons are doing here?
On the western wall of Tutankhamun's tomb, you can see a depiction of 12 baboons. These baboons represent the 12 hours of the night that Tutankhamun had to pass through to be reborn in the afterlife. Each baboon is even individually named in the hieroglyphs next to them. Isn't that fascinating?
Yes, can you tell me where this tomb is located?
Of course. The tomb of Tutankhamun is located in the Valley of the Kings near Luxor, Egypt. It was discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter. It is one of the most well-known and well-preserved pharaonic tombs.
Are there any nice restaurants to eat a lunch with my family while I'm visiting?
Okay, I can help you.
Probably not. That was pushing it. Oh, it did come, but I paused it. So sorry about that, but you can play with it soon. It's launching in a month or so. And if you like that, I highly encourage checking out something called Talking Tours on the Google Arts and Culture app. You essentially have multimodal AI conversation with architectural and archaeological sites around the world. That was unveiled a month ago. I'm going to now move on to a project that's very dear to me and my colleague here, Edda. She leads our Arts and Health and Wellbeing initiative. We've been working with Mayo Clinic and many other organizations who during COVID contacted us and told us that arts is actually really, really a good way for therapy. And we want to share this information with you. So we have this well-being page. Please do check it out. This was unveiled 2 weeks ago on dementia care. So I'm not going to say much, but this is a lovely trailer. And I hope you will go and enjoy the entire initiative and learn about
When I
it.
was a little boy, I used to be able to remember the steps for dancing.
We are somehow entangled with our memories. And when we start to lose grasp of these memories, we start to lose a bit of ourselves.
Do you have a memory of when you went skiing?
Yes, I have, but I've sort of lost most of it. I remember beginning very badly, and I didn't have any lessons, and I used to lean back.
What about this one?
So reminiscence therapy is a technique that's been used for many, many years with older adults with dementia and other cognitive impairments. What the research has found is by telling their stories, they actually have quite positive impacts on their cognition and their memory, and also on things such as their mood and their emotions.
Synthetic Memories is now live, the entire documentary on Google Arts and Culture, and you can learn more from the researchers why it's an important work that's going on right now. I'm going to move to a completely different area. I hope you see what I'm doing here. I'm going from fruit heads to archaeological sites because it's the scope of what Google Arts and Culture is about. It's different things for different people around the world. And we've come to tennis history. So a week or two ago, I was in New York launching this with the International Tennis Hall of Fame. I know there are some very important tennis stars in the audience. I don't know if Marion is here. But this was a project to really, there you are. Well, this was an initiative that I hope you will enjoy, at least. And I had no idea she was going to be here, by the way. I was going to show you the project anyways. But it's essentially documenting and digitizing the entire archive of the first ever tennis magazine in history called the Lawn Tennis Magazine from 1907. We got access to these archives. We used our digitization technology to digitize them. And here you have curators who have created the origins, champions, impact. This is how every single project on Google Arts and Culture is. It has a very strong narrative. But what really gets interesting, again, I know I'm saying it too many times, but it is with AI that it really gets quite interesting. I love this product at Google called Notebook LM, which allows you to take a restricted set of data, restricted sources, put it into Notebook LM, and allow you to really research or fact find in a very interesting way. So I'm going to try and show that again live to you. So this is the entire, you see on the left-hand side, these are 37,000 print pages of the Tennis Lawn magazine. And here very quickly, you can start chatting on that restricted data set. So let's just ask, who invented tennis? I mean, you're not going to get a definitive answer like most questions on who invented something, but you're going to see what the magazine from 1907 has to say about it. And here you get information being pulled out of 37,000 pages instantaneously. The opportunity to then further deep dive is absolutely fantastic when you click on something called the mind map. The mind map has automatically categorized various aspects of the archive for a very quick navigation. I'm not going to get into this too much, but for example, if you want to get in team competitions, you can very quickly get in. You can click on, various topics, and you start getting instant information. We are already seeing huge interest from archives around the world who have contacted us saying, this is what we need for research. They may not want to make it public, and that's totally fine for us. Patrick McEnroe was very, very happy to make it public, so I'm grateful that he did. I'm going to now move on because I'm kind of out of time, and I'm going to probably end with my last slide because we are in a very beautiful area. Please check this out. 2 weeks ago, we were at Kew Gardens launching Worldwide Wood, which is essentially the largest botanical tree-based collection in the world put online by research centers from Brazil, United States, and the UK. And we've used AI to create a map of these specimens. So a lot of fun to have. Please enjoy yourself. Thank you, everybody.